I'm still at my place. This backpack is all about my new gear, 100%. All right, seeing some of my crap too. Obviously, I'm not real worried about, you see my crappy place. This thing weighs 22 pounds. This is only an overnight backpack, but still, this is some things about it, right off the hop, it doesn't sit super comfortable on my back. I mean, that's the thing about ordering things online, is you can't try them on before you get them. You can't figure out exactly how they sit. I mean, yeah, these massive pockets, I feel like I need to just shove a whole bunch of stuff in there because they're big, so I'm afraid that things will fall out, right? So I've got things in there, and I'm actually like throwing things in there that maybe I don't really need to have in there, but I'm just doing it because, I'm gonna get my arm out of the way. I'm just doing it because it needs filler. They really are big. I don't know, maybe I'll come to love them. Nice little guys here. I think I like those too. But yeah, 22 pounds. That's it for an overnight. That's nothing. Here's a bit of a surprise last night. I wore these on my hike. They got wet, like fully wet. And now they've been sitting for 3 days and they still are kind of wet. That what happens when Gore-Tex shoes, they take forever to dry out. Not real happy with that. I mean, I hadn't taken these out. I didn't even think about it. Well, I guess maybe I'll wear these. These are my normal day hiking shoes, so I don't want to start the day off with immediately like half wet feet, half wet socks, so. All right, well, little things, I'm figuring out new gear. This is part of it. Essential. I'm not going very far today. It's still completely essential. All right, I'm in the Little Elbow Recreation area. This is kind of down at the end of the Elbow River Road. It's where the pavement begins, and then the road turns north, becomes gravel, and becomes a bit of a different thing, right? Yeah, I'm already thinking, I'm gonna have to go buy like boot warmers or something. I bought shoes that had some Gore-Tex in them, and now it seems like, when I'm out on backpacks and stuff, they're just never gonna dry. Whereas shoes that don't have Gore-Tex, they get wet just walking around in the wet grass. Right, that's it. Your feet are soaked. So doesn't seem to be any winning, right? I mean, you're on a backpack and your shoes get wet easily, then they dry easily. Okay, great, but they're still wet all the time probably because in the mountains it usually rains at night. So then you walk around in the wet grass and done. In this case though, once they're wet, right? Wet, wet, wet. Yeah, we'll see what happens this summer. But yeah, I'm gonna have to buy boot warmers. If these things take more than 2 or 3 days to dry. Anyway, they're not coming on this trip. I left them at home. They're gonna dry out. And yeah, deal with that as we go. But for now, anyway, let's deal with this backpack, shall we? All right, I'm in the red one. This is the first backpack I can remember where it's more about the gear than the actual trail and backpack. Okay, so I'm actually down here, but this map kind of has things a little better as far as what I want to talk about. A few days ago, you saw me, if you watched the video, you saw me come up here and kind of scout out the area, right? I did Forgetmenot Ridge. I managed to make it all the way to the peak of Forgetmenot Mountain. The valley bottoms I saw were pretty great, so I want to come down 35, all the way down here, all the way here, and I want to camp at Wildhorse. Now, I thought about just doing it there and back, but I don't think that's going to be enough fun for me. I can just make that decision too tonight or in the morning. Probably tomorrow I'm just gonna go out like this, and I'm gonna go all on this trail and then out 41 and back to my car. This is weird. This is weird. I'm going out into the middle of nowhere with gear I know nothing about. It's all completely experimental. This is weird. This is a weird feeling. I'm not going out like confident. My trusty gear, knowing what I'm doing, knowing what I'm, you know. This is a weird feeling right now. Why is that light though? I have nothing on my back. Nice shots just from the parking lot even. A little bit of wind. But other than that, it's a beautiful day. All right. I only know the first 1.5 kilometer of this thing to start with. Gotta get down there to the suspension bridge, and then I'm gonna go back here and I gotta cross Elbow River. This here is actually a little elbow. The two will join forces. So, first thing to do. All right, big old front country bridge with a name. And a nice view. Alrighty. On my hike a few days ago to Forgetmenot, I basically made sure I stayed in the Wildhorse Trail and stuff. But now I know that all trails to come together when you go to cross the Elbow River. So I'll just take whatever and maybe be a little bit more interesting. So let's talk about my back. The big thing when every person who's active is your back health. This winter I solved my back pain, which is shocking, but I'd had it for a long time. Just always in the background, right? Always there. When I had gone to physio, they would apply heat to my back. And I was always just like, whatever. So I thought, well, what have I got to lose? So I went and bought something like some cheap heat applicator. You know, you just plug into the wall, stick it on your back, lie there for a while. From like Walmart to Canadian Tire or something. You know, if you go to one of those athletic places, they'll charge you double. And it worked. After like 4 or 5 times, it worked. My back was inflamed. I don't know why. Ibuprofen didn't knock it down. So I didn't think inflammation was the problem, right? Because I had tried ibuprofen, like lots of it, for like a week. And pain's still there. So I'm assuming it's not inflammation. For some reason, it didn't work. Heat worked. So all of our backs are different. I'm not saying heat will work for you if you have back pain, but I found a big puzzle piece for mine, a big puzzle piece. Let me tell you, the relief was palpable. Look at that. Are they allowed? Is it Parks Canada? Park? Oh my. I'm gonna make it. For a second there, I kind of wondered. Okay, well, it certainly is big enough to take a vehicle. The actual Wildhorse Trail is in here. I'm just walking down along here on the rock class just to make it a bit more interesting. I didn't come back this way. Last time I went and I crossed the river just for a little bit of practice. Now I regret it a bit because I definitely made sure that my shoes were completely inundated with water, and now of course they're not dry, but whatever. Make choices. This has been nice. I'm just finding little snippets of stuff. There's also like trails coming out of the bush. You can go back in whenever. It's a front country area, right? And I mentioned this on the last hike. You can 100% get lost in a front country area because there's trails everywhere. So you got to make sure you're on the right thing. In this case, I did this before, so. All right, here's elbow. I can skip a dance across my way a bunch of things, and then there'll be a deeper channel. And I mean, it's early in the day, maybe it's not that high, but there's like 90% chance I'll have to take my shoes off. Otherwise they'll get wet. Beautiful here. Might be coming back down that valley. You can easily see the trail on the other side, that's not hard to find. Everything seems happy at the moment. These pouches. I miss having one at the top for your sunscreen, your snacks, whatever. So I have, I think this one has my wallet and keys. And then I think my snacks and that are in this one. So that's what I've decided to use. All right, here we go. This is the plan all summer, right? And I really feel like I need protection from sharp rocks. I'll put on a pair of socks and get those wet, but I think mostly it's going to be bare feet. I'm not going to sit here and talk about how great that is, right? It still sucks walking on the rocks, but you know, at some point I might cave and start bringing water shoes again, but until then I will keep her going. You know what I miss already? Being able to sit on that massive backpack, and it's basically a chair. All right, this thing is so tiny. So, I mean, and I take a lot of my breaks lying on top of the big backpack too, right? It's a good way to kind of keep the tick thing down, because ticks happen when you lie down on the grass or sit in the grass. So, but no more of that. Just another thing to adapt to. All right, look what I discovered. Hard to stand this thing up too. All right, can you see that? All right, I can tighten her up. Okay. I'll do that with two hands when I get the camera back. All right, well that'll help these pockets. Little things, you know, there's a lot of things I need to figure out that I haven't even thought of. You can't find out until you get out here. So that's what this backpack is all about. More little stuff, right? I stand up, look at my thing. It's supposed to be a quick draw. That's the whole point. Turn it around. There. Zap. Little stuff. Beautiful. This guy here, yeah. All right, I feel like I've already shot a lot of footage. I haven't even got the trail that I haven't seen yet. Took off my jacket. It's a beautiful day now. You get out of the wind. But you know, this backpack, I keep, like I've said a few times now, it's really not about this trail. It's about me figuring my stuff out. So, and I'm showing you all that because, yeah, it's, like I said, it's weird coming out here with all new stuff. Really is. Something I don't think I put in my videos enough, and it's easily the most common question amongst people I talk to, even like comments on my stuff, like my videos, like I'm surprised you don't run into more grizzlies. And I mean, to me, it's all about, hey bear! I don't care that the front country people can hear me. I was out for 16 days and I saw one stupid, like white-tailed buck. That's it, all right? That's all. Yell, 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 yell. Bears want nothing to do with us. That's the secret. It's not a secret, just no one does it. You can come across 50 front country hikers and you don't hear a single one of them. Not one. No one yells. Yell. That's all I can say. All right, this is the trail up Forgetmenot Ridge. Off into, oh, a bike. Well, that's one creative way to get to this trailhead. Off into new territory. Oh my God, this is easy. This is easy. I talked about this thing maybe not fitting that great, but I mean, if I don't have 55 pounds on my back, or 45 or 40, how well does it even need to fit? Right? Still hiking below Forgetmenot Ridge. Well, the very end of it anyway. We got some beaver ponds, which I imagine come and flood this sometimes. And yeah, sure enough, a little bit. Alrighty. For the most part, though, I think these trails and like all of like the whole area, like Romulus and all that crap. Okay. Not sure if you're man-made or a beaver, but whatever, you'll look fit to cross as far as I'm concerned. I think all that area is very well used. Oh yeah, look at this, man. It's part of the reason I decided to come in here. It's because I can't be dealing with crazy trails right now. I'm just trying to get acquainted with my equipment, of course. Okay, there's a little bit of reading. Next point of interest is an area the natives use, the Stony, I believe, called translated into shadow clearing, because it's just below Forgetmenot and gets a lot of sun is usually blocked, right? Well, maybe I'll find some prairie sashers or something. I don't know if they still use it, but something to look for while I walk. In that area back there, I found a second trail, which just paralleled the other one. Nothing came of it. Didn't find any. I didn't even find like a rock pile or anything. So, and back into the woods. Be coming along Cobble Flats soon enough. That's kind of the popular way to get in here with horses, right? Because they can just go across the Elbow River at that juncture. I have my plans for this year, of course, as far as backpacking. Little things come up, interfere, you know, that's life. The Oilers have made the finals, and the 7th game is on day 1 of a backpack. I mean, they scheduled it out far. I mean, day 1 is, 7th game is like, geez, like 5 days later. It's free agency, for God's sakes. So, you already know what happened, because I'm sure this is published in like frickin' November, but like 4 months after. But, oh God. Of course, far be it from me to hope the Oilers win in 6 or lose in 6. But it could be a crazy series, man. It could easily go 7. Who knows? The Oilers surprised everyone last round. Took out Dallas in 6 games. I think nobody predicted that. So it's hard to know what's going to happen. In case I hadn't made it obvious, I'm an Oilers fan. I've been an Oilers fan since 1986. I haven't seen them win. Of course, no one has in 34 years. And if there's a 7th game, I'm not going on a backpack. I'll change it. I'll make it a shorter backpack. Just saying. Yeah, I'm pretty jazzed, man. They might actually win. That is sick. What do we got here? I just finished yelling. 1, 2, 3, 4 horses. Are they wild? Or is this a grazing lease? They're all looking at me, but they're not moving. So I'm guessing they're not wild. This is a huge clearing, man. This is awesome. Maybe they are kind of wild because now they're buggering off. They're definitely not chill with me walking through here. This definitely could use some love or just straight up replacement. Why not just nail it onto a tree? Oh, the farther I come in here, the nicer it is. That direction there's not a whole lot, but it's pretty cool. Look at the wall. Horses are back there. They're just staring at me till I leave. They can come back and keep eating. I'd say this is shadow clearing. I've been looking around at the trees, but I don't see a single sign of any human use at all. It's the thing about the natives, everything they did was built out of wood, so if they haven't been here for 100 years, it's already almost impossible to find any signs of them. I'm walking along the left side. This looks old, really old. Also, what is it? What the heck are these birds, man? Is this some crazy cartoon character? Or is this from frickin' China? Like this light blue reminds me of Vacation. And then it's like octagon or hexagon, like six-sided. Was it for tobacco? Huh. I'm gonna leave it there for the next curious adventure to find. Walking along the left side because I figured that's closest to the river and I might find something. So far, that's it. You'd think I'd find at least a horse encampment, considering this is an amazing grazing spot, right? Knew there had to be a little something. Sure, not much. There's no hitching rails or anything set up. There's just, this doesn't look very old either. Yeah, that hasn't been cut very long ago. Just a fire pit, heaping mounds of horse crap, but yeah, usually there's hitching rails and all kinds of stuff sticking out of the wall, out of the trees to hang up like saddles, and you know, I think there's probably water just through that. Okay, let's get back over to the right, where I'll quickly find the trail on the other end of this thing. Okay, apparently this is Wildhorse Creek. Comes down here and it joins up with, I think this is just a branch of the Elbow River. The Elbow River shows on the map, on my apps, as about 400 meters over that way. So I think this is just a branch off. Yeah, cool. Gotta remember to take little breaks, right? The whole point of this lightweight backpacker thing is to go easier on my back, not walk farther, take less breaks. So, yeah, this is a nice spot. Okay, here's the intersection. So if I kept going straight, eventually I'd come down to Cobble Flats. All right, so here we go. This is a continuation of Wildhorse. It certainly narrows up a little bit here, and apparently we start climbing over ridges. So a little bit of climb, a little bit of descent. Gets a little bit tougher in that sense, but yeah, it's been pretty damn easy up to this point, so no worries. Just shut off the camera, but look at this already. Who the heck is like driving a quad or a Jeep or something up this thing? I hope it's park staff coming in to clear out trees. Like, gee. Jill wasn't kidding. It's immediate. The climb is immediately starts, but starting to get some nice views too on this side of Forgetmenot. It's kind of cool. All right, I still got more climb. This is nice. The trail is just sort of on this ridge now, beside what I can only assume is still Wildhorse Creek. And you know, every so often it opens up, and yeah, not bad. Not bad at all. Took a nice little break. This little stream, this is the first time I've kind of seen it up close. Not sure if that's still Wildhorse or not, but yeah. It's been a slow uphill. Apparently the first ridge takes some effort. And then at some point she mentions a third ridge. No mention of a second ridge, but yeah, you go up and down a bit here, so. It's up enough to be noticeable, for sure. That's nice though. I love that sound. All right. I've been climbing a lot. I'm climbing up to the high point. Now let's hope the other side, when I go down, doesn't have a bunch of surprise snow, but here we go. It's the first sign of snow on the trail. Let's see what happens here. Yeah, it definitely takes a while to get this first ridge. It's supposed to be a lookout and a cairn, so I'm definitely not there yet. Just checked on my phone as the crow flies. I'm 2.4 kilometers from the intersection. So I've been on this trail for that long. But no more snow. Basically not even in the forest, so that's good. Trail's over here. I've come down a little bit, and then it's gonna keep going down. And now I have a big pile of burnt out stuff and kind of a viewpoint. Was this supposed to be the high ridge, the first ridge? Not much of a viewpoint. Don't know. What I do know is that I've already come down a little, and now it's starting to like kind of switch back, I think, down some more. All right, well, nothing to do but see, but keep on going and see what happens. Well, I've been descending. When I read the description past the viewpoint, it's like descend to draw into a meadow and then you cross Mac Creek. I did descend to draw. Here's a meadow and a lot more snow that I'd like to see, that's for damn sure. I'm just gonna walk around a little bit, give my, take a little break. Also, I'm curious as to why I've seen a whole bunch of trail tape in here. I hope that doesn't mean logging. No, can't say I really found anything interesting. Not sure why the trail tape's there, but that is no surprise. The snow is a concern. I mean, is it gonna get worse and worse and worse the farther south I go? I probably have like 8 kilometers left. So yeah, we'll see what happens here. Nice. Sweet. Oh yeah, this is the place for a camp spot. What a beauty. Hey, if I walk all the way down there and the snow's too damn much, I come back here. There's plenty of snow here, or well, there's plenty of space here to camp. Trail is back there. I left my bag back there. I crossed a little something or other, little creek, and come across a bit of a old logging area. See, there's a pond down there. All right, back on trail. The whole point of this backpack is to try out my gear. I mean, I also want to see some new trail too. But I mean, yeah, if I have to come back here and try it out, then, you know, mission kind of accomplished. All right, so here's the creek, described as often wet, boggy. Okay, I'll have to deal with this bush, but over here I can just step over. There we go. Okay, moving along. All right, kind of a logging path into some other logging block. All right, sounds like this is we're climbing up to another quick ridge. That'll be ridge number 2. I think I'm already done with the climb on the second ridge. I'm already going down. No snow here. Snow is completely unpredictable. An open area might have almost no snow. Or it might have 2 feet because the snow just gathers in it. The forest, if the forest has a lot of if it's thick, it has a lot of spruce trees, well then the snow gathers in it and then it takes forever to melt. So there could be way more snow in the forest, or it's a pretty open forest like this. You can see the sun hits the ground and there's no snow. So there's only one way to know, and that's just to get your butt out there. And early June, you're taking the risk, right? You might turn back. I've certainly had a couple of backpacks like that in early June. This is pretty in here. So this is Mac Creek proper. I think this is the new backup campground. This is very nice looking water. Now I just got to figure out a way. Oh, I think over here again. Yeah, this is quite nice. Another advantage to the lightweight is it is way easier to jump across stuff now. I mean, with a massive backpack on your back, try and make that jump, right? Be a lot harder. I don't mind logging too much, you know. In the old days, it would have all been burned down before we decided that timber was a valuable resource that we wanted to preserve. So, it does give you some open views, right? It's pretty sometimes. I always turn around. I was down there, so I've started doing the climb up to Ridge 3. One thing about this area is this is an official trail. So if they log around here, they have to respect this trail. They have to keep it open. So it's when they log in areas where it's unofficial, that trails get blown to pieces, but you know, take the good with the bad. All right, at the height of land, cross a logging road from one block to another block. That was nothing. Ridge 2 and 3 are nothing. Ridge 1 is the one that's all the work. Awesome. All right, down we go. Trail's back over here. I think I'm started with Howard Creek drainage. Kind of cool. I bet it's pretty damn boggy, mind you. All right, here's Duck Pond. Doesn't seem like trail goes down beside it, so just wander off. I'm gonna come have a nice little break by this guy. The other side of this pond, I saw some suspicious looking stuff, and yeah, I keep finding new emergency campgrounds. Very nice, very peaceful. I mean, the trail, road, whatever you want to call it, it's way over there. Oh. We're not that far out, and yet it feels like we're in the middle of nowhere because I haven't seen anyone all day. As soon as I crossed Elbow River there, I haven't seen anyone. It is the middle of the week. It is a Tuesday. Not bad. Well, there is a trail that keeps on going that has horse dung. The wild horses use it. Not real sure where it goes. Maybe it goes and rejoins the trail, which I think is over there someplace. You know. Maybe, maybe not. I'll head back along. Go back to my bag. Nice little side adventure. Oh, that's a nice one. This is delightful. Like walking along this, it's an old road. Nothing is squishy. Fantastic views. It's nice and flat. Oh, God, it should all be like this. This is awesome. I've seen a lot of things you can't really explain. Wildhorse. Here's another one. Why? Why are these cut and then laid out like some kind of symbol to the heavens? And some of them look charred, like they've been burned. A few more over there. No idea. This isn't the foundation of a cabin. The things I wonder about on trail that I see are like things that are a curiosity, but no one actually cares to record or figure out what the hell that was. So ultimately, I'll never know. That is just a fact of life. I wonder, but no one else gives a flying rat's arse. Even Jill, who wrote the description, you know, it's not in there. Not one of these guys. You can see there's a pole with an orange diamond on it. So obviously I have to get across here. All right, figure this out. There's something completely, I have no idea. I was walking up to this thing thinking about to film and going, oh, another one of these, but there's something real over there. Okay, I think down over there, hippity hop. More of these than I anticipated on this. It is runoff season, mind you. It's a bridge. Was there a recent log that isn't in, it's a recent bridge. It's definitely not in the trail guide. Oh my God, another thing I have to, holy crap. They just keep coming. Okay. All right. This is a lot easier than the last one was. I had to scrape my arms along a lot of stuff. All right. I'm gonna take my bag off and look around. I mean, what is happening up in all this? Got a big culvert too here. Okay, so this is the Howard Creek logging road. The bridges are actually mentioned. I didn't think they'd be like that. This is some old logging road that continues along that way. I don't know if that's any good for anything. All right, well, I'm gonna take the bridges way. I mean, come on, they're bridges. Beautiful country, man. That's clearly some kind of old bridge. There's still a bunch of tarping and stuff. Yeah. All right, apparently there's a second one. And we'll do this when you have a logging block going to an official trail. And we'll cut trees at this height. And then if there are skidoers, snowmobilers coming through, they will still see where the trail is over 2 feet of snow, right? And they can track it properly. Once one tracks it, then the rest just follows. So, okay, let's give me some pause. Jill was like, cross 2 bridges over stuff, and then turn left down a meadow. here I am, I'm climbing and climbing. And I don't know why. I looked on MassMe, it still shows this as the Wildhorse Trail. Yeah, this is not matching the description though. What's this climb business? Okay, I think I know what's happened. I thought when I got to that bridge that I was at the beginning of this sketch map that Jillian has in the book. And so then I had two ways to go, right? Now I believe that actually I was at the end of that sketch map. Sounds like there's bridges. I blew through that. Because when you start going to Dew Creek, you do go through a cup block. And on the map, it does show, there's a different track entirely. It does show you turning this direction and going through a cup block. So that's what's happened. Definitely. Yeah, well, things have worked out, kind of in a weird way, but they worked out. There's been some big logs in here, that's for sure. Well, been talking about logging a lot. The fact is that a lot of times the old logging roads, they become trails that last for decades or even longer. So it's probably like basically what I'm using right now. It's that one of those moments that you basically can never capture in camera. A massive owl took off out of here and went across. It was huge. You know how often I see owls? It is extremely rare. Well, the nice thing about that confusion is I'm a whole lot farther ahead than I thought I was. It's a good thing I did not turn left at that intersection and go off that road, because I would have been going completely the wrong way. And I would not have known. There's always some new road coming out of wherever, never ends. I'm already out of the cup block and now I'm descending into the Duke Creek. And yeah, it's coming along, coming along. Sheesh. You think you're just doing a trail through the bush. When Jill does kind of say that, it is much nicer than it sounds. She ain't wrong. And again, say what you will about cup blocks, but that would just be a bunch of trees. It is nice and open. Yeah, this has been surprising. I realize too, I'm putting everything on camera. I mean, it's my first backpack of the year. Everything excites me. It does. It's like, whoa, open space. Oh my God, look. Wow, look at how much around the corner too, just tons, so much. This is the McLean Creek area now. And that means some people run around with their quads in places they shouldn't be. They really need some money in these areas. I mean, they're just signs. Can't cost that much. I'm sure someone charged a ridiculous amount, but still. Court Creek. And then there is a bridge. I'm gonna go over here, find somewhere to sit. I'm sure there's lots of places to sit. I'm sure there's some kind of campground in here. Have a nice break. Really not much, actually. I had to go sit over there in a fallen tree. All right. Joe doesn't really talk about this, but clearly it goes someplace. Talks about crossing, and then there's another trail on the other side. Pretty standard ATV bridge. Cool. That's all smoke.
Jill mentions it, and I've seen it. There's a big gorge in between us and All Smoke. I saw that at the end of last season when I did Hogs Ridge. Here's where I came from. I think this is number 32. This just seems sad. Doesn't even look like a trail. I know because it's on Maps.me. No markers, no nothing. Huh. Well, this is what I get to hike with now. This is pretty damned outstanding. According to the book, a signpost is going to point me towards Wildhorse Campground. Of course, the book is old. But yeah, we're talking like 1.5 kilometers maybe. I'm not far from my destination now. Starting to wonder if there's a Wildhorse Campground anymore. Here is a signpost. It's supposed to be signed. The trail. I mean, look, it's just been logged over there a bunch. Maybe they logged it out. This is kind of a trench, but it doesn't do a whole lot. Right? Just drains. I don't know here. I might be making my own camp spot. And this or something. Huh? Let's keep walking. See what else we can... See what else happens. These are the trees I was literally just pointing my camera at. This isn't what caught my eye. This is what caught my eye. An entire pipe. Nothing else in here that I could tell. I'm getting a bit more optimistic. I see something down there crossing the creek. See this? This looks like an old road. That leads down to that. Let's try it out. I think this is it. Whether I find any kind of campground or not, that's a whole other question. Okay. Jill actually does describe crossing Quirk Creek on logs, which of course now I'll just have to go bounding across. Ooh, look at this. It's an egg. Cool. All right, and then it's 1.4 kilometers. Oh, look at that, little fishies. Huh. So this could be very interesting. See, this has been cut. This clearly is where it crossed. Now, how the hell would I actually follow a trail in this? I don't know. It's not even on Maps.me anymore. Yeah. I do have Jill's description. Yeah. I haven't the slightest clue where to go. I followed what was clearly the old road. It goes into the cut, and that's the road they used to cut all that down. It's down this here, right? I mean, that much is obvious. I didn't do my research, right? I guess I thought, okay, maybe it's gone, but it shouldn't be that hard to find. So what? It's gone. Lots of stuff is gone, but it's still there, right? I just assume the same for this. Even in the addition there, Jill was saying it's surrounded by 3 bogs and they're thinking about moving it. Well, they didn't move it because over the Quirk Creek crossing where she suggests, it ain't there. So yeah, they just killed it and left nothing. Well, there's certainly a trail. Certainly a chance I'm on a fool's errand here. This is boggy in here. Kind of following alongside the cut block where there's sort of trails. Horse dung is on them sometimes, so I have no idea. I think I'm walking in the correct. I mean, I'm in the click general direction, but yeah, really, I got nothing. I got nothing at all. Okay. When I took pictures of this trail description, I cut off some words, but now I think I figured out what they are. The trail keeps to pines alongside a swampy valley. But because I haven't found it over here, I'm assuming I got to cut across that, what I'm sure will be a fabulous swamp. My God, I did not pick a good time to come back in here. This is crap. Maybe on the other side I will find it. I found nothing over here. I don't think they included it in the cut. Maybe they did. But over here it sucks. I don't see myself doing 1.4 kilometers of this. I have to find the trail. There's no point in me going down there if I'm literally just hunting around at, what, roughly 1.4 kilometers? And she even mentions crossing a bog with logs. So I really have to find this trail. Otherwise I got no chance at all. All right, now in the swamp, now I have water, sort of. All right, the water's just over there. Trail work. Up there is another cut. So yeah, is this the trail or not? It's still pretty boggy. Oh, and then here you have, oh, and done. Look, the trail is still here. Okay, you really just have to go find the damn trail. Seriously, you do. It's in great shape. Look at this. Look at that. People say things are gone, I never believe them. It's like, yeah, they're gone until I go try to find them. I know they're still there all of a sudden. Woo, jeez. Here's the trail back here. I have gone 900 meters. And now it's going into this. So try over here, try in the trees. It's definitely not obvious. Looking back, it seemed like I followed kind of a trail up to this point. And then it does get a bit boggy. It's supposed to cross a bog on logs. That's where the trail ends. Over there, okay. All right, I'm gonna get my shoes right here. Come here, come here, come here. Okay. I'm also back here trying to find a campground that's surrounded by 3 bogs, and it's early June. Might not be the smartest thing ever to do. What about over here? Maybe there. Definitely looks more fun than all this water. I followed up here on a trail that could have easily been made by animals. I mean, look at the horses, what they've done, right? I'm in between 2 cuts. Nearly impossible to, maybe these cuts are made around the trail. I don't know. But it is, yeah. I'll keep trying. I have hopelessly lost the trail right now. So following a valley with a bit of a bog, great, but it could have gone over there into that one. This bunch of trees that I'm following ends. I think this is the wrong bunch of trees. I think I need to cross over there, which is, I think, all cut. So, yeah, I don't know. But I'm pretty sure this is not it. I mean, this just goes up to a little basin there. The trees end. It's done. And then I'll be in cut anyway. So, I think the trail at some point over there curved over a little bit. Yeah, this is a tough assignment, I gotta say. I was down here in these trees. I started crossing. The cut block isn't that bad to cross. And then I look over. What a fluke, I was near the trees. And I think there's a very nice trail here. So it would have come from down there and come up here. This does not mean I found the trail, but it sure looks good. Yeah, it does. I can't believe it. I saw the orange triangle, and then I saw an outhouse. I found it. I can't believe it. Jeez. Of course there's still a damned outhouse. There's always an outhouse. How many decommissioned campgrounds have I come to that have an outhouse? Yeah, unbelievable. Unbelievable. What are you? Were you... Oh, maybe you were for like toilet paper or something. Now you're just at a place where something lives. Oh. Well, a lot of storage now for... Looks like they did kind of plug it up with dirt. Be careful, you know, something's gonna jump out at me. There's still a broom in here. That is funny. I won't be using that. That's for damn sure. Look at this too, right beside the outhouse. How old are you? Chocolate chip, eh? Look around a bit more. I have to say I'm kind of worried about a water source. 1, 2, 3. I already found 3 picnic tables. This wasn't a joke, man. Is this for hanging up? This was a bear hang? Maybe, now falling over. And we got a box. Still has a lock on it. The other side exploded. Sure is. Let's keep that lock on there though. Oh my God, this is funny. Look at all the horse crap. Holy jeez. They love it in here. This is really cool, man. I love that they left the stuff out here. It's just wood. Why not? Why would you remove anything? Oh yeah, this guy's even more beat up. I'll have to figure out which one's the best. That'd be the one I use. This guy's pretty, woo. Yeah. They cut right up to this thing. Right up to this thing. Well, they left lots of firewood anyway, that's for damn sure. Okay. Yeah, this will do. This is water. Look what I found. On the ground, that's what this was for. I'll take a picture, but I'm going to turn it back over because I think that'll preserve the writing longer and then other people can find it. It's pretty cool, right? Okay, so this is kind of beat up, but it's right beside the water. That is nice. I think that might be my spot. I could even have a fire. I mean, there's plenty of old wood hanging out here. What do you say now? Anything interesting? Ugh. Ugh. Water required boiling for human consumption. Yeah, well, I guess so. One more little fire pit over here. There's still a semblance of a bear hang. Look at this. Yeah. See the rope? Still doing this thing. That is not high enough. I think a bear could easily, I mean, it hangs down at least 2 or 3 feet. I think a bear would not have too much trouble. But, hey, you know. All right, I did a little work to get here. Now it's time to start playing around with all the new stuff that I have. Jesus, this thing. Okay. Thank God this thing had a 16-ounce mark, because this thing just says 2 cups or 16 ounces. Apparently mills don't exist where those things are made. All right. Whoa. I need something to block the wind. First time I've used this thing out in nature. It's not even windy. Definitely have to supervise it. Just looking around right now. Before the logging, wouldn't this have just been all trees? Like all trees. Maybe not so much in that area, but why put a campground here? I'm not sure. I mean, back there by the ATV road, there's some places with amazing views. Yes, there's ATVs going by, but still, this is a strange choice to be putting a bunch of picnic tables and an outhouse. I'm guessing when they shut it down that probably no one was crying a whole lot. All right, dinner's done. Let's go start playing with the tent now. Something new I just thought of. If I want to go for a nice stroll or a hike, and this is one advantage of being out here now, is that there's an insane amount of sunlight. I set up the tent now. The hiking poles are out of commission, right? They are holding the tent up. Yeah, you know, I got to make sure I get this thing right. So be it. Downloaded a video from YouTube. Of course, it's like, do this, do this, do this, and then do this. It's been like 12 seconds of video. I'll figure things out. 48 inches, eh? That's 120 centimeters, about 121. This is what I got. I feel like I set up a kite instead of a tent. Again, there's barely any breeze. Okay, put it down to about 117. This is the stuff I'm out here to figure out, right? I mean, the bathtub is being held up. I think these are a bit too long. I should probably shorten them up. I still have to put these on. All right. Yeah, I'm considering moving my tent. I mean, honestly, this is my first time setting it up. I basically suck at this. And maybe it should be deeper in the bush where I got more cover. Okay. I'm much farther than the bush. I'm actually right beside where I tied my food up, so obviously I'm going to move that. I guess really that's it. Not so sure. These, you know, these are from like my other tent. I might have to figure out some different ones, like ones that are definitely not going to let go. All right. The nice thing is I can leave it up for 3 or 4 hours, you know, until it's dark, and just see how it holds. I did up this flap. I'll leave the other one. Does not inspire confidence. It does not. The only way to get some confidence is to sleep in the damn thing and see what happens. There. Threw all my stuff in there, what little I have. I'll take care of the rest of the setup later. I'll try to get back before dark. Nice thing about this thing is it's so insanely light. I can bring it on day hikes, and big deal. I mean, it weighs, you know, it's a feather basically. So got my my big jacket, I got my rain gear, I got my bear spray. I should go get a water. And yeah, I'm gonna go a night hike. Why not? All right, I made a waypoint for this. We'll flash that up. I'm gonna make a few more waypoints along the way back. And that way, basically, any one of you that wants to can come hang out at this campground and check it out. The logs that Jill mentions, I think I found them. Some of them anyway. Woo-hoo. Of course, I don't have my poles right now to help me with this. Okay. All right. So I'm headed back out the trail. As far as I'm concerned, I'd like to kind of go back and check out some of the areas I was in earlier. There's kind of a little triangle in there to work with. And place where I kind of missed some stuff too. All right, here's where I found the trail. I'm gonna make, I'm gonna flash up coordinates for this. Here's where the trail kind of enters the cut block and you sort of lose it. So I'm gonna put up a, flash up a waypoint for that one. So now I'm interested to see where this trail pops out into the meadow exactly. Obviously I didn't see where it started, so. Well, I do plan to do more in the area. When I come back, maybe, oh my God. Maybe instead of dealing with all that, I would just kind of come right here. Right. It's probably enough flat spot for a tent. Water. Done. You're off the trail, so ATVs go by, they probably won't even know you're there. That's funny. I want a picture of that. Okay, I've just taken a few steps out to the meadow, and I'll give you a screenshot of the waypoint I put there. Now, oddly, I'm seeing a diamond over here. So when I went down to cross at that spot, was I actually at the wrong spot crossing? Because I'm pretty sure I was down there. I can barely believe it. So I actually went down the wrong place entirely. See where that piece of tree is sticking up? That's where I went. What do you have to say for yourself? You just orange? Yeah, maybe you said something once. I mean, there's a trail, but so what? There's 100 cow and horse trails. Well, this isn't a great place to cross Quirk Creek. I think that other spot was better, but I have basically nothing on my back, so I should be able to do these leaps. It's that one. Remember when I wondered? I was like, ah, this might be it. It is it. Huh. All right, well, figured stuff out. Turning around again, Jesus. It is so nice. Just a beautiful day. I couldn't have asked for better. I'm almost at the intersection I want up here. All right, I'm gonna go be a bit of a trail junkie and do a few more of them. So up here is 32. That's what I had looked at earlier. There's kind of a triangle in the area, so I'm gonna walk up 32 and then over on that logging road back to where I was earlier today. And then we'll see what kind of time I have at that point. 32 is a sad bastard. Look at all this crap all over it. Despite how bad it looks, there actually is a pretty clear and obvious and nice trail going right through it all. So, well, this is certainly no surprise at the moment. just bashing off some trail. I wonder what this is called, because I've seen a lot of these. It's not a logging road, it's just a really, really wide track. And it always seems to be just going a bigger cut. But still, they leave a lot of crap down, and yeah. At least this one has a nice, perfect trail right down the side of it, right? Okay, all right. All covered in trees, but not bad, you know. It's just so nice. Whoa. What the hell? On my trail too. So weird. So weird. Who was like, hey, you know, we need a helicopter and we need to get these massive blocks of cement out here. I mean, obviously before the cup block, they thought they were blocking things. What are you? Something about a McLean Creek. Oh yeah. And over there. See, there's a trail in there too, right? You can see there's kind of a road there. Okay, so McLean Creek, you're actually not supposed to have stuff. Oh, and there's a little... Obviously, everyone can just go around now. They got no problem for that. All right, pretty big and obvious intersection. This is where I'm going to turn off. This trail here, I was standing at the top of it over there, looking down at all this. So I've actually mostly got 32 done now. I would say this road is how things are getting logged now, that's for sure. Why all the pieces of, all the logs along the side of it? What's the purpose? A lot of them. And another bridge. Like I said, I want to put that up all on their own. Charlie Jr. Trail. Kind of neat. Why not? Another bridge. Well, pretty obvious where to go, especially when you look at Maps.me. Again with these barricade ahead signs. A little bit of climb, but also a little bit of reward. One thing about, again, I've been talking about logging all day, but I've been walking through logging blocks all day. When the regrowth begins, it's nice. All right, I'm back at these bridges. This is half the reason I came back this way. I did a nice stroll. I figured then I would do a triangle as well. But that did take me an hour and a half through the triangle to get to this point. So, all right, gotta go here. And on the other side, I'll try to follow the directions backwards. All right, actually your directions say to cross Howard Creek, then cross again. I just decided to come over here and cross that thing and then start heading back this way. She actually talks of bridges and stuff way over there. Let's see if any of that's in place. Okay, so I found an obvious trail. Let's see what happens. Oh, okay, here's I think that's the fork of the Howard that she talks about. Or is this the same thing I just did? Yeah, it doesn't look like that looks super familiar. I stood on top of that and I crossed this. Yeah, I'm basically doing the same crap. Which side did I do? Okay, I crossed that, then came over here, and man, did I have that confused. So I did the other. Turns out I did the side that I didn't think I did. Sheesh. Unbelievable, man. So now I'm walking back on 35-2, which was the original logging road, which right now is just a trail on the side of a hill. And I actually did 35-1, but I had it completely confused before. Wow. We're back to the mystery logs. That is the logging road. Who the hell knew? How on earth would I know? I just kept going straight, which I thought was fine. She mentions going back this way and crossing a couple of bridges. Well, okay, well, let's see if those are there. There's more massive weird logs. No bridge. Go over here and see what else I can find. There's where I just crossed. This seems to be an old road, and that might be an old road. But pretty sure I don't follow those anymore. There should have been two bridges. Here's another kind of marsh, but there's nothing here. Well, I've wandered around in here as much as I want to. So the two bridges she mentions are gone. I'm gonna have to send her a little note. Not sure if she's done this version of her new editions yet, this volume, but anyway, it is much easier to walk that direction than cross that one. So you do get that. That is a win. Jumped across this again, and now I'm back on 35-1. I think 35-1 is a whole lot easier than all the little stupid crossings on 35-2. It's funny how all the stars are down there, though. All the orange diamonds. That's definitely the hard side. All right, I'm done all that. At least now I know what the hell is going on in here. I satisfied my curiosity. Fortunately, now I have to climb over the cut block and take that trail back. I don't think I have the time to go back the way I came and maybe take a more scenic route. It's that time of day. How long before sunset they come out? Hey, buddy. Hey, bear. That's enough to send him going. It has occurred to me that there's a cut going up and over that hill, and you know, there's a chance I could probably go all the way through cuts and connect up. The campground is in that direction. I have an hour until sunset. I also don't have very much phone time. I would also have to climb up there and probably do some zigzagging towards this thing. It's a little much for me right now. I think I better just do the safe thing. Go back, go to Crook Creek the way I know, and then over there and then back. Add kilometers on, but yeah. Some things are just a little too much adventure. Funny part here, I mean, this could have been made by whatever, but you think maybe that's a shortcut to the campground from this trail? One can only wonder. Home sweet home. I had to be back. I definitely tired my ass out today. Well, still standing. I don't really understand how it's supposed to keep out rain when that can't really come out. Like, what am I doing wrong here? How's that supposed to? You can't really like stretch it to the ground, and well, I guess you can. Maybe I'll do that. I'll look at the directions. I still have them, but maybe I'll do that tonight and just to get it away from the tent a little bit. Directions don't say anything about doing that, but I mean, it rains. It rains all the damn time in the mountains. Like, this is barely the mountains, this is the foothills, but still, you know, that makes me feel better. Do that the other side. And there you go. I'm in my Z-Pack duplex tent. Okay. There's plenty of room. I mean, I was never going to go for one of these, you know, coffin tents, pup tents. Last item, now I got to figure out this quilt. Get this guy up and going. It's the only trusty thing I have of the big four. The only one I have left. Not too bit of a rocky start. I tried to stick this into the bottom, right? Which is apparently what you're supposed to do. But it doesn't really fit. If it does, it doesn't fit all the way, and then it just feels really tight and stuff around my feet. So, yeah. I do have these things here. So I gotta like secure it to the bottom of this guy. I can't even think straight anymore. I need to sleep. And yeah, we'll see how it works from there. And then basically this is the bottom. And you know, my feet obviously have a bottom and a top. But from there, there's no zipper, right? Because zippers weigh a lot. So you just kind of lie down on the thermarest and have this thing on top. Because lying on top of down is a little bit pointless, right? You just smush it and then it can't keep the warm air in. All right, I got the strap underneath the thermarest, and feel like it's gonna be kind of a long night, right? Just trying to figure this thing out. I've got my trusty pillow. You can see it there. It's just there. It's still not even dark. It's almost 10. Man, the sun never goes down right now. Well, that was a full successful day. I mean, really, the night is the question mark. We'll see how this goes, right? And yeah, I mean, that's what will ultimately, for sure. See you tomorrow.